What is going on, everybody, on the day before Christmas Eve? I am your host here, Israel Rivera, filling in for David while he's still in football mode. And I have here my main man, TJ Hopkins, here, a consummate host here on the crossover here. But before we start the show, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a lot to talk about here on the crossover. How are you doing today on a gloomy Saturday, TJ?
Pretty good, pretty good. Went to the gym, got that workout in.
Absolutely. You know what? I still got to get my workout in. For the day. I better get to it. But we got a lot to talk about. One thing I did miss in these slides, I did miss the Christmas Day games, but we will talk about that. By the end of the show, we'll talk about some of the Christmas Day games. I'll try and slip that graphic in while TJ's talking here. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, starting with the first topic of the day. Man, you can't teach old dog new tricks here. Draymond Green suspended indefinitely after the December 12th incident with Yusuf Nurkic and the Phoenix Suns. He also had an incident with Rudy Gobert on November 14th. During their in-season tournament game, the Warriors are 4-1 since his suspension. TJ, your thoughts on Draymond Green getting suspended? I know this was a culmination of things throughout the season. Surprisingly, TJ, Draymond Green only has 4 techs on the season. You want to know who's leading the league in techs? I bet you already kind of know who's leading the league in techs.
I don't know who's leading the league in techs.
It's Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is leading the league in techs. But this one is surprising. The second person on the list that's leading the league in techs is Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, that is surprising.
That is definitely surprising. Definitely surprising. But your thoughts on Draymond Green getting suspended indefinitely? What does it mean? Because a lot of people don't really understand what indefinitely means.
What's funny is when they announced this, I was at my barber shop. I was at the barber shop I go to out here, and I know I got a crystal dome right now, but hey, that's what I get every time. And my barber asked the same question. He's like, "What is it?" He's like, "What does that mean?" And I'm all like, "It means he comes back when they say he comes back, not the Warriors. He comes back when the league says he can come back." Because the NBA allowed the Warriors to discipline him as they saw fit for all these years, and too little, too late. The NBA said, "No, y'all ain't harsh enough," because he clearly ain't getting, it's not sinking in, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the NBA finally came in and said, "You know what? Since y'all don't want to do it, damn it, we'll do it."
Mm-hmm.
And this is 4 suspensions. Forget text. This is 4 suspensions in 9 months, dating back to the Sabonis stomp, right? So he stomps on Sabonis. He gets suspended for that, and does some other stuff. And get this most recent, this newest suspension. That's his 4th suspension in 9 months. That clearly tells me that you're not understanding what the problem is, right? And then you punch Jordan Poole. You effectively chase him away and chase him out because they're like, "Yo, we can't have these 2 dudes in the same building." And you go on your podcast and you try to defend yourself or make an excuse for it. It's like, no, how do you defend yourself? Then with Nurkic, you knock him out. So I'm not a flopper. What the hell you think that move was when you Nurkic? You flopped. Like when you kick Steven Adams in the groin. What do you think that motion was? That's a flop. That was not a fluid motion. So, and the Warriors also have no one to blame but themselves because they allowed it to get this bad.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed it to get this bad, right? It's the rest of the NBA's fault for this because other folks are so worried about their pockets and them getting suspended that when Draymond Green does something to your teammate, you don't like. There is no way in hell you would have told me that if Draymond choked Rudy Gobert the way he did, that Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards would have done nothing about it. Do you know what the bad boys Pistons did to Michael Jordan? And you know how Charles Oakley reacted every single time? Like
Mm-hmm.
Kenyon Martin said that he like that's the problem. Like nobody else on these other teams is checking Draymond because they so worried and because they so worried about them getting suspended and them like they getting fined or what. Like no, some things are bigger than your that suspension and some things are bigger than that change going in your pocket. How Draymond sends a message like, "Oh, you ain't finna do this to my team." No, somebody's supposed to run up on Draymond and knock him in his shit and say, "Look, you ain't finna do this to me." Like the wrong people are in like that's what the league is missing. Like the league is missing the Charles Oakleys and the Anthony Masons, the guys that used to play back then. I'm not like not from a skill set, obviously, but from a toughness standpoint. You aren't finna like you know how Zach Randolph checked DeMarcus Cousins, what he say, hey, where I'm from, bullies get bullied,
Yep.
and DeMarcus Cousins ain't challenged that. Yeah, Draymond's a bully, and he needs to get bullied. Just all it takes is one dude. And I'm real talk. The one guy that it should have been was Steven Adams. But Steven Adams was too busy himself getting kicked in the groin. Like that's what that was.
Right. Right. I agree with everything you said. You're not going to get any pushback on me. I told this to folks too. It means when the league is ready to bring him back, and the league suspended Kyrie Irving indefinitely for the anti-Semitic stuff, and they gave him a long list of things for him to do. So I expect something not similar, but I expect some type of okay, Draymond, you gotta go get some anger management classes. Okay, Draymond, you have to, go do this. There's certain parameters in which I think that he has to accomplish before the NBA deems that he's ready to come back. He's going to have
No,
conversations with
what I
probably the player association. He's probably going to have
oh
conversations with Adam Silver,
yeah
with the team president,
yeah
of Golden State, and one thing that I will say is that this isn't the first time, and we one thing I'll say this is that Draymond Green off the court we haven't had any issues with, and that's my thing
no
is that a lot of people say, oh, he has problems,
no he doesn't
he
he
needs to
does,
get
no
better.
no
It's
he
just
doesn't.
I think the fact is that we just want Draymond to be more professional out there on the basketball court. It's okay to be chippy sometimes, but when you're choking guys out, when you're slapping guys in the face, those are, I mean, on the like, if you did that outside on the court, I mean, we're
Five to
fighting.
10, 5 to 10, 5 to 10, five to 10.
We
And again, and the league has a role in this too because I've never seen a player get the leeway that Draymond Green gets when he's talking to officials, right?
mhm.
Like, do you see how long or how much it takes for the refs to be like, all right, enough's enough, and they tech them up? Like, no, bro. Like, if referees officiated by the book, like how we think they do, Draymond Green would get ejected every night. Like seriously,
Absolutely.
if referees were really like quote unquote petty, Draymond would because like he wouldn't make it past halftime. He wouldn't make it past halftime with like because he would draw two techs that fast.
Every game. And I think
Every
they've and
game.
it's crazy that he's not excuse me, it's crazy that he's not leading the league in text because there's been multiple games where the refs they have given him such a long leash. And I
It's
think these are the conversations that Adam Silver and probably the Players Association, probably like just conversations before the season, like, okay, we know Draymond Green is gonna talk a lot. We know
yeah,
he's got a hot head. We
yeah.
know he's gonna be in your face and arguing about every single little call that happens. So we got to take that with a grain of salt. We can't just give him a
No,
tech every time,
the
and it's
hell
and
you
it's
can't.
kind of
The
wrong.
hell you can't.
It's kind of wrong because when I see a guy like Tim Hardaway get teched for what he got teched for the other night
You
against the
get
Lakers.
you see a guy like Kevin Durant get tech for what he got tech for against the Kings. Right?
You know what I mean?
His teammate gets a big dunk and he screams someone from the bench tech. Like seriously? Like yeah, the Warriors created the monster. And that now that the monster's unleashed, you can't bring them back. Like there's a um there's a saying from Game of Thrones where one of the characters he says it's hard to put a leash on a dog when you put a crown on his head.
Right.
So it's like now you got to deal with the monster that you made, and we kind of see it now because it's like the good news is they don't miss him like we thought they would. Like the young guys are stepping up. Kuminga's playing better. Trace Jackson Davis has been inserted into the lineup,
Two
and
consecutive double doubles in a
and
row.
and
The first is Steph
eventually
Curry.
and eventually the Warriors are gonna say F Draymond because when he was doing all this in the past, they was winning chips and they going 73-9, they breaking records, and he was actually productive. Ever since that season, Steph and Clay got hurt, and it was just him, and they picked second overall. Ever since that season on down, his production's gone down, and it's like, bro, you doing all this hooping and hollering and screaming, and you giving me triple singles, as Charles Barkley like to say. I'm not finna put up with you costing us, and you giving me 8, 5, and 5. I can get that from anybody.
Yeah,
Like,
you could. I mean, honestly, like last night, Kaminga scored 22 points. I
like
mean, we've been waiting for the young guys. I mean, Moses Moody's played consistently. Brandon Pajemski has played, considerably well for a rookie
for
guard that
rookie
has to deal with that has to be buried behind Stephen Curry and
Clay,
Chris Paul, right?
yeah, and Chris Paul.
Um,
Like, I
and
don't
and
want to
Trace Jackson
hear.
Davis has come on. Trace Jackson Davis has come on, and he's actually shown that he's a shot blocker, right? We know he's athletic. We saw that in Indiana. So it's giving with Draymond out, and also it's elevating Klay Thompson's play level of play, right? Klay Thompson shooting the ball better.
I don't
Steph
want to
Curry
hear.
scoring more.
I don't want to hear about his IQ and this that. Like, I don't care because you ain't showing high IQ when you getting teched and you getting ejected and you getting suspended. That's not showing the
Right.
high IQ that y'all love to gloat about with Draymond Green. I don't care because I don't
So
care.
yeah, and we can't say the 4-1. They played pretty. Outside of the Celtics, and they came back and won, and
Came
they
back
were
and won.
getting out rebounded and getting pretty much stomped. I gave up on that game, and they came back, but they beat the Nets, they beat the Blazers, they beat the Wizards last night.
Teams they should
Um,
beat. Teams they should beat.
Teams they should be beating. So that's I like that the Warriors are stepping up their play. So let's see how it continues. But they are in a way Draymond does bring a lot to the team. He brings the rebounding, he brings the toughness, but this is also giving
So
the
like
young guys some
here's the thing.
opportunities to step up.
But here's the thing that no one else is talking about that I've heard Stephen A. them talk about. He was being groomed by TNT to be the guy that takes over for Charles Barkley.
For Charles Barkley, yeah.
You don't hear that no more. You don't even see him in that. You don't even see him in the seat no more. I've seen Jamal Crawford in that seat. I've
Candace
seen
Parker.
Parker in that seat. Like, bro, like how you like you don't understand. Like, your life is not just you as a basketball player. Like, you have to do, like, you're not going to play this game forever, and you have to do stuff outside of that. When you're like when you have trouble finding your footing for a second career, because I'm not hearing the talks with TNT anymore. No one is. Now you gotta look at
Absolutely
yourself
not.
like, hey, I gotta fix this because I was gonna have like you're messing up a job that you can have for the next 30 years the same way Charles Barkley did. Charles Barkley is more known now as his TNT stuff than he was as a player. And this is a Hall of Fame player we talking about, Charles Barkley.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll see what happens with Draymond and see if this old dog will learn some new tricks when he comes back from suspension here and what he learns from that. Next topic we have John Morant.
Ja.
Yes, I played off. Look, man, I got inspired by Scarface and his Tiny Desk performance, so I had to put on the I had to put the theme on. Guess who's Bazak? Because it is John Morant is back after serving his 25 game suspension. Made a season debut on Tuesday. Dropped
Mm-hmm.
34, 6, and 8 assists, including the game winner versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Let me ask you this, TJ.
Yes,
The
sir.
impact of Ja's return to the Grizzlies. I know
Mm-hmm.
they have been in a slump to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
They miss him tremendously. How
Mm-hmm.
much is this going to impact the Memphis Grizzlies?
But it's not just him. It's Marcus Smart too. They've been without what
Yeah, he's out too.
they've been
True.
without what was supposed to be their starting backcourt pretty much all this time. Like Marcus Smart started the season, but he got hurt and he's missed a lot of time. So Marcus Smart should be back. I think sometime next week, like right after Christmas. So they're getting healthy and they're getting everybody back right at the right time. They're just not going to have Steven Adams at all this season, so that sucks. His impact, that we saw it right, like we see it. Like he's back for 2 games. They win those 2 games, and it's his first game back, and they're already like, "Hey man, like no, you getting the ball. Like game on the line. This is yours. This is your ball. Like we ain't running the play for Jaron. We ain't running the play for Desmond Bain. No, you get the ball. You take their best defender 1-on-1, and we'll live with the result. Fine. But at the same time, Ja Morant has no one to blame but himself. They're 8-19, and it's because you weren't there because of your actions. Like this
Mm-hmm.
whole, he told us, "Oh, I kept receipts. What? I hope you kept them about you." Like personal, like in this situation, personal accountability goes a country mile, and you know a country mile is that's different than a regular mile. Country mile seems like forever.
Mm-hmm.
like country miles are
They
long.
won actually 2 games. They actually beat the Pacers too the other
That's what I'm
night.
saying. Like
116-103 as well. They was
he's played
dominating
two
that
games.
game.
He's played 2 games. They won those 2 games. And Ja Morant, like they're 8-19, but Ja Morant has no one to blame but himself. It's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, the big thing for Ja Morant to do or should have done, and we don't know that he didn't do it, is for him to go to like the first time he came back is for Ja Morant to go to his team and be like, "Hey, we 6-19, we 6-19, and it's 100% my fault. We in this. We got to dig ourselves out of this hole because of the ish I did, because of my stupidity. It's my fault that we did this. That we're like this. I'm sorry." So like
And
if
the
he's
thing about the Grizzlies, I like that you brought up Steven Adams too,
yeah,
because not having Steven Adams is big. They legit don't really have a legit 7-footer. I mean, Jaren Jackson's 6'10", but the center that's filling in is Bismack Biyombo. He's legit
he's
6'8", six
fine. Like
nine. I'd say 6'9", and he's athletic, but he's not Steven Adams. And that length does matter. I mean, you got Aldama, who's another power forward. He's
but
about
he
6'8", 6'9", but he's
hey,
more of a
but
perimeter guy.
he light in the back
Uh,
pocket.
Xavier Tillman 6'6". He's
And he
more.
light in the
David
back
Roddy's
pocket.
like 6'4", 6'5".
Light
I mean, these guys are all small, man.
and so like think about like they down they top two. Well, top I ain't gonna say top two because Jaren Jackson's their second quality big. So like they down they number one big and Steven Adams and they number three big and Brandon Clark. He ain't there either.
Yeah, he's not there either. Yeah, and that's right because he tore that what? I think it was an Achilles,
Yeah,
if
so
I'm not mistaken.
he ain't coming back no time soon either. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on with Memphis. I don't know who they play next, but if they obviously the goal right now is
Try and get back in the play-in. Try and
try
get
right
back in the top 10. They can get
get
back
back
in
in the
there. They
picture,
play
man.
the Hawks next.
Again, you're 8-19, bro. Like that's the problem. And that's the problem with certain teams. Like, and we'll get to them too. Hopefully, with the like, so like you got the Grizzlies, you got teams like the Bulls. It's like when you dig yourself in this hole so early,
Mm-hmm.
basically you're in playoff mode now. We're 20% of the way through the season, and you're already like, hey man, we like, hey, forget trade deadline. We in playoff mode now. Memphis is in
With
playoff.
Ja, with Ja right now, look, the Jazz the Warriors, and then you got all these other teams that are jumbled up in between 10 and 7. The
Mm-hmm.
Suns, the Lakers, the Rockets, the Mavs. In all actuality, at the end of it all, I think the Memphis Grizzlies with Ja Morant, when they get Marcus Smart back, when Derrick Rose, he's been kind of had the bug. When Derrick Rose has played, he's been sensational off the bench. But I think they're better than what the hell the Phoenix Suns are throwing out there right now. I think they're better. They're going to be better than Houston Rockets. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're obviously better than the Utah Jazz. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's not even a question, in my opinion. And I think they could be better than the Golden State Warriors, in my
Mm.
opinion. I mean, I think they can. I think they're young enough. I think the trio of Morant and Bain and Jackson. I think that's more formidable than what the Warriors are going to throw out there with an older Clay, with an older
Older
Steph,
stuff.
and a bunch of young guys, and an old Chris Paul coming off the bench. So we'll see, because I think the top six is legit. I mean, Minnesota, OKC,
Yeah.
Denver,
Yeah.
Sacramento,
Yeah.
LA, and I think LA is going to be on. And when we talk about this, I think LA is going to be a top two seed when it's all said and done. The
Yeah.
Clippers, I mean, and
I,
and
I,
and the
I
Pelicans,
know. I
we'll
know who you
see.
talking about. I know. I know.
Oh,
I know
you
who you
know, you
talking
know
about.
which LA team I'm talking about. Come on, man.
You
Come
ain't got
on
to specify with me. Next topic. Let's go.
now. Anyways, man, moving on to the next topic. We we have the lowly Detroit Pistons, and yes, it's no wing stop for you,
Say
Detroit
no
fans, because
wing
I
stop
know
you. It's probably a
because
win
you
for them
guys are
anyway.
gonna get a free five piece if they win. But let me tell you something: these Pistons are lowly, lowly, lowly on a 25 game losing streak. The record is actually 26 in the
Oh,
season
it's
set by the
28.
2020. It was the overall is 28.
Okay.
Overall is 28 between two seasons, but in one season it's 26
Oh,
set
okay.
by 2010, 2011 Cavs and the 2013, 2014 Sixers. The overall record is 28 spanning two seasons from the Sixers between 2015 and 2015-2016 seasons. After the game against
Hey, y'all.
the after the game against the Utah Jazz, hey, let me tell you, man, the Utah Jazz. I was talking about it. We were talking about it. Nobody was out there for the Utah Jazz. Literally,
Nobody.
Laurie Markkinen was out.
Yep.
THT was out.
Yep.
Jordan Clarkson was out. They
Yep.
had, they had the Italian boy Simone Fintecchio playing. He dropped
Tachi.
16 on you. You got Colin Sexton out there, who's been
Out.
pretty damn good actually for the
Yep.
Utah Jazz at point guard this year. You had Kelly Olynyk, who dropped
Mm-hmm.
26 on you. Who hit dagger threes against you. In that game, and you still lost. You managed to still lose against a Utah Jazz team that literally had their best three players off the roster in that game.
Eight, 8 in total, not playing.
And 8 in total not playing. And so, Kate Cunningham, I know Monty Williams. I was looking at the press conference after because I got league pass, and I was watching Monty Williams, and he said, basically this one hurt worse than because it did because you had a legit chance to win the game. I mean, you wasted a good game by Marvin. You maybe wasted a good game by Marvin Bagley.
Badly.
You wasted a good game by Kay Cunningham. You guys wasted a good game by Jaden Ivey. Bogdanovich really didn't get it going until later, and he didn't really have it going at all. And just the late game execution by the Detroit Pistons. Kay Cunningham saying that we're not 2-26 bad. Well, the record
But you
speaks for
are. But
itself.
you are. But you are.
So I guess my question is: Pistons next game is tonight against the Nets. Do they break the streak
No.
tonight?
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. So here's all right. So I was hoping you brought that K Cunningham quote up. He's saying the right thing. He's saying the right thing. We're not 2-26 bad, but you are. Like it's one thing if you lost if you're losing these games, right? The 25 straight, and they're 6 points, 5 under 10. If you losing under, if all these games were under 10, then you got a point because it's like, damn, that's 6 points. That's 2 possessions here that if we did this right, damn it, we win. If we go on this little 8-0 run, we win. But you ain't losing by 6 or 5 or 4, 3, 2, 1. You getting your ass kicked, bro. like thoroughly. You losing to the Milwaukee Bucks by 30 in the third quarter. Giannis is on the bench with his kids, bro. The game ain't over. He brought his he went to the stand. He went to security, told security, bring me my kids so they can sit on the bench with me. Like, bro,
You rarely see that too. You don't see that at all.
he went to security, told security, bring me my kid. My family is sitting here. Bring me my kids so they can sit on the bench with daddy. And you got a half of a third and a whole fourth quarter to go. And knowing good and damn well, we up 30, they not coming back. Like, first off, the level of this, like, first off, you should take that as a sign of disrespect that you felt like this man felt comfortable to bring his kids on the bench while we still got a game to play. Don't give me be for real. And on top of that, so you got what you call it. You bring in Monty Williams, who is a damn good coach. Don't get me wrong, he is a damn good coach. Um, when we did the season preview, I think you were there for that one. I said the one thing that um, Detroit has to figure out is the pecking order, right? Who's the guy? You got to, because it's a bunch of young dudes on this team. You got to figure out who's the alpha, beta, chart, and so on and so forth. Somebody got to be number one. And I think the consensus with them is that number one is Cade Cunningham. You go as Cade goes. I have no problem
Without
with
a
that.
doubt, it's Cade Cunningham.
So if
Without a
Cade
doubt.
Cunningham, so if Cade Cunningham is your one, you and Cade have to come in and be like, "Hey, Cade, you the captain. The C is on like the with the old with the not the old, but well, yeah, even the old Pistons with under Isaiah Thomas, the C. They put the C on his chest. Zeke, this is your team. Fast forward to the new bad boys. Hey, Chauncey, you may not be the best player, but damn it, you the best leader. You the captain. The C is on your chest. We go as you go. So Monty Williams and the crew, they got to come in and say, Cade, damn it, this is yours. It's on you to get the other guys in line, and it's on you to keep us afloat. We can't get a stretch where because they right now, if they up, if they got a lead on you and you walk them down, you got it because you see the change in body language. Almost, if they got a 10-point lead, you cut it down to 4, you got them. If you're up big, you really got them because now they're not gonna fight to come back because all it takes is really just one bad stretch, once like 2-3 turnovers or a couple possessions where they don't score and you do, you got them because they like
this is a team that just they lack. I don't want to say they do lack veteran presence because I mean Bogdanovich is a veteran, but he's literally like the only like veteran on the team, and he does get a lot of tick. And I mean this team is just so young. It's like it's them, the Wizards, and the Spurs. They just don't know how to win basketball
they
games. Now I'd
don't.
say actually the Wizards probably a little bit better in knowing how to win basketball, but they're just in the same boat too.
Yeah.
This is a young team that just
So
doesn't know
I
how to
said,
win basketball games yet at the professional level. And the thing is that yeah, Cade Cunningham is number one, but who's their number two? They don't have one. I mean,
okay, I'm
Jaden
glad
Ivey's
you
supposed to
brought
be that
that up.
guy.
That's
You
and the
know,
fact that he's
Jalen
not
Duren may be supposed to be that guy. Jalen Duren's playing pretty well this
and
year.
the fact
Um,
that Jaden Ivey starts sometimes, then he doesn't, then he starts then like no, the start lineup for the Detroit Pistons should be as follows, right? And I sent it to
you
the
got
group.
All-Star Thompson too, who's like one of the best rebounding guards.
Like it should be, and I don't mind you not starting him. That's fair because and folks got to get out of this mindset. Oh, I'm a top 5 pick, and
Right, and
fuck that mean. So like the
he didn't
start
even play down the stretch in that Jazz game, by the way. TJ.
right and like so the starting 5 should be as follows. It should be Cade at the 1, Ivy at the 2, Bogdanovich at the 3, Bagley at the 4,
Yes.
During at the five. That should be the starting that should be the starting five for the Detroit Pistons night in, night out, unless somebody get hurt, somebody gets suspended, whatever. I don't care if they have a bad stretch and they playing terrible. I don't care. That's the five that should be seeing the floor for the Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Stewart, nice story, nice player. His ass should not be a starting center in today's NBA. I don't care.
He's a bench player.
I don't care that he's worked on this game and he's worked on this 3-point shot and he hitting them. Don't care. He's not a starter. He's not starting. Like, yeah, that's also why you 2-25, because you starting a 6'6" center like it's like he's supposed to be like the new version of Ben Wallace. Not happening. All right. Because you got depth galore, right? Killian Hayes, not a starter. Shouldn't be starting. Why is he
Nice little
starting?
player.
For the most part.
Yeah, off the bench.
Off the bench. Asur Thompson, we just said it. Lottery pick. Shouldn't be starting. Don't care that he was a lottery pick.
And he's, Asura Thompson, honestly, no, he shouldn't be starting because he doesn't know how to shoot the ball at the NBA level yet. Bogdanovich can. And when you got a guy like Jaden Ivey and you got a guy like Kay Cunningham who break the defenses down, you need to kick the when you need somebody to have that to kick the ball out to make a three, and that's Bogdanovich. Asura Thompson's not there yet. Now, is Asura Thompson a hell of a rebounder? Is he a hell of a defensive player? Yes, absolutely. I mean, right off the bat, when we talk about rebounding guards, doesn't matter rookie or veteran or whoever, he's one of the best in the league already from that point. But he's not a starter because he doesn't know how to stretch the floor yet.
No. And like I'm still tripping on, hey, we're not 2-26 bad. Yes, you are. Yes, bro.
You are 2-26 bad.
You haven't won a game. Izzy, listen to this. Like, listen to the statement and try to react with a straight face. Try your hard, and you see you failing.
I'm gonna try my hardest.
You failing already. You haven't won a game in 2 months.
It's pretty bad, man.
You haven't won a
pretty
game.
Bad.
You haven't won a game in 2 months. The last time you won a game, Zach LaVine dropped his career high, and it didn't even matter. Since then, you know how. First off, do you know how long ago that was? That was October 28th, the third game of the season, third or fourth game of the season.
And I just knew the Spurs weren't gonna be tit for tat with y'all. I mean, they just as bad because one thing I say about the Spurs is they got that X factor, and that's Victor Wembanyama. I'm gonna just point it out right there.
And Stacey King said it the other night, and they had their own nice little losing streak. They went 18. They went
18 in a row.
18 in a row, and that's another. And Stacey King called them out because he's like all these other guys, all these other young dudes, like they want to be like the number one, like a Keldon Johnson. Like you want to be the number one. Like no, bro, you are not the number one. Wembanyama's the number one.
Like I'm glad Stacey King called that out. When
Wembanyama points that long ass arm up to the rim and he says, "Throw me the ball." Guess what you other guys got to do?
Throw his ass the ball.
Throw his ass the ball. So and that's another. Like, so again, the Spurs. I don't want to see Jeremy Sochan bringing the ball up. If you don't, Greg Pop, I understand you are allowed to coach again because after for the longest you didn't have to, right? You didn't have to. You didn't have to coach up Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili. You didn't have to, and Kawhi Leonard. You didn't have to do that. Bruce Bowen. You didn't have to coach those guys. These young dudes, yeah, you got to coach, and yes, they have to listen. They got to pay attention. But if you don't insert Trey Jones into that starting lineup,
yeah, and you know what? I'm glad Stacey King brought it up the other day, and everything you said. He's like Jeremy Sochan. There's so many times I watched a lot of the Spurs because I'm real enamored with Victor Wembanyama, and I have been since he was in French. I watched all his French games. I've watched every game for the last 2-3 years.
Like
Victor Wembanyama, even when he was on Asheville.
That stretch where
he was on Asheville.
That stretch where it was, where it was, Victor, who's the number one overall pick, and Victor wasn't really known yet, and everybody was talking about Imani Bates. I was team Imani Bates. It's like, Imani's better than this kid. Without having really watched.
The only thing that happened with Imani is just the outside trouble. I think
the outside shit.
That's what kept him from being a top 5 pick. But anyways, like I said, man, look, Victor Wembanyama, you put Trey Jones at the point, like TJ said, and because he's gonna feed. He's a true point guard. That's what the team misses.
I don't like.
No
I don't
experiment with
mind what
Jeremy
you call it.
Shoshan.
I don't mind
Jeremy
starting Keldon.
Shoshan,
Yeah, I don't mind starting
and
Keldon Johnson. So
oh,
like that.
absolutely not. I
So
don't
like if
even
I'm
mind
him,
starting Devin Vassell because
so
Devin
right.
Vassell
So if I'm the
is a heater.
Spurs, I go Trey Jones at the one. I go Vassell at the two. Keldon Johnson at the three. You might be a little undersized right there, and then you throw.
Zach Collins at the 4, Victor
Also,
at the 5.
and so you moving Sochan out the starting lineup altogether.
I'm moving Sochan out the starting lineup. He got to come off the bench. The thing is that he lacks basketball IQ. He doesn't know. He wants to just get his. You got a whole bunch of guys that want to get theirs. Trey's not going to want to get his. Trey's going to want to set everybody up.
It's also
But then
their
you
best.
got Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell wants to get his. He's not looking to pass the ball to Wembanyama. Sometimes Calvin Johnson isn't looking to pass the ball to Wembanyama. He's trying to get his. So you need somebody that's in there that's going to get his. Zach Collins and Victor Wembanyama when they're on the same floor, I think they're pretty solid. Even when Chetty Osman comes off the bench, he's trying to find those two big guys as well at the small forward position. So you just got guys, and it's the same thing with Detroit, right? It's like you got Cade Cunningham. He's trying to find. There's times, and this is where I get. It's the opposite now. I think Cade Cunningham. He has the ability. He has the ball in his hands. Sometimes in late game situations, Cade Cunningham's trying to set everybody else up. I need Cade Cunningham to score.
I need you to take over. So like,
I need you to take over
with Detroit and Senate. Like obviously, you never want to see young teams be that bad because I said it when we did both of their season previews. I told Spurs fans, I'm like, no, don't. Just because you got Wembanyama, don't think you're going to get a David Robinson, Tim Duncan situation and he just going to propel y'all to the playoffs and so on and so forth. That's not finna happen. And I told Pistons fans, just because you hired Monty Williams to coach these young dudes, don't expect a playoff spot. I'm like, if I was a Pistons fan, considering the amount of games they won last year, if we doubled that up, if we won 35, 38 games, that's a W. That's a win in my book. Because like coming off a season where you won 17? You went 17 and 50 something. If you was to win 34, 36 games, damn it, that's a win. Because at least progress is being made. Now you just trying to not be the 2014 Sixers that went 10 and 72.
Right.
Now you trying to fight bad history.
You're not on the right side of history. So I guess to end this one, man. TJ says they don't end the streak tonight. I don't think they end the streak tonight. I think they match the 26 game losing streak. And hopefully, Detroit can turn it around because Monty Williams is a really good.
Let me ask you this.
He's not used to losing like this.
Let me ask you this, and then you can move on. Do you think they lose on purpose to not get Wingstop for everybody? Because I know Wingstop is a sensitive subject for not everybody like Wingstop, bro. Like if you ask Christian Simpson about Wingstop, he say that shit trash.
That shit's trash. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Wingstop is trash. Man, look, I don't know, man. My son likes Wingstop, and I'm forced to order that trash. And the only thing I'll get from Wingstop is a chicken sandwich and maybe some boneless chicken wings. That's it. Some boneless mild wings, but they bone in wings, absolute garbage. You might as well be getting them from Little Caesars or Domino's.
Next topic. Come on, man. Come on.
Anyways, next topic we have on the slate, man. No BS. We are rolling, baby. The Chicago Bulls, one of the hottest teams in basketball right now, winning 8 out of their last 11 with notable wins versus the Bucks, the Pelicans, the Heat, the Sixers, and the Lakers, all playoff teams. Man, I know what some of their keys to the success, but I'm going to ask you, TJ, what are some of the Bulls' keys to their success during this run that they have had? And it's crazy, TJ, that we're talking about this because I was watching a random game. I was watching, I think it was Portland, and Portland was playing somebody, and the Portland commentators even brought up the Bulls, like, man, the Bulls are one of the hottest teams in it, because I think one of those two teams, I think it was Portland and Washington. One of those two teams has to play the Bulls soon. and they were like, man, the Bulls are one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, playing some of their
Mm-hmm.
best basketball without Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm. Now,
And the key word was without Zach LaVine. So
they
my thing
emphasize
is,
that
what is
shit,
the
didn't
key to
they?
their success, TJ?
Ball movement. Ball movement. Now don't get me wrong. It's easy to point the it's easy to do the common denominator thing, right? Like, hey, the Bulls were this with Zach LaVine and they were losing. Now Zach LaVine's gone, and you got these young guys flourishing and they're winning more, right? Zach, like the common denominator is Zach LaVine. It's not always the case because when Zach LaVine and DeMar was playing, guess what? Guess what else happened? Like the ball stopped in Zach LaVine's hands just as much as the ball stopped in DeMar DeRozan's hands. And if I'm those two dudes, and I'm seeing the guys in red, just watching. Guess what? And nobody's cutting, nobody's doing this, that, and the third. If y'all just standing there, standing around, what the hell I'm gonna pass y'all the ball for? And that's where
I
the
think
go ahead.
I think one some of the keys to success, and I'm going to get to one guy that you're probably going to be like, damn, it's crazy that they're winning when he's playing. I think you already know who I'm talking about. So Kobe White has. I'm going to start with Kobe White. He's number one guy. I think he's averaged in the month of December. He's averaging 22, 23 points per game. That's more than like I think he's averaging 7 more points per game than what a season averages within this run right now, and he's shooting a higher percentage from three. Patrick Williams
That's the guy.
is averaging like 4 or 5 more points, but he's shooting the ball at a 55% point
Yeah.
3 point percentage clip. 55% from three. Patrick Williams playing some great basketball. The rebounds are still there. Everything's still there. Actually, with Kobe White, his rebounds and his assist numbers are up as well. DeMar DeRozan, you know what you're going to get from him. Nikola Vucevic, you know what you're going to get from him. The guy
Mhm.
off the bench, Ayo Dosunmu, has been playing very well off the bench as well. And every time Caruso plays within these 8 games that they've won, Caruso has played in every single one of them.
Mhm. So
Yep.
like, yeah, it's real easy to say that Zach is it's Zach LaVine. He's the one. Like, no, DeMar DeRozan was a ball stopper too, right? Like that's what it is. But so like now the issue becomes, I should say, when Zach comes back, can these young guys keep it up? Because obviously a big reason why they are allowed to blossom like this is because Zach LaVine isn't there. That much is true, but to act like they're doing all this winning because Zach LaVine's not there, that much is not true. Again, like Zach LaVine puts up 51 in a game that it didn't even matter. He scored half the team's points. They only scored 101 points. They lost 118-101 to the Detroit Pistons, and he put up 51 points. Where was DeMar DeRozan then? Where were these guys at then? Right? So somebody was like, that just proves that even at Zach LaVine's best, we lose. I'm like, no, that's a misleading statement because no one saw Detroit going on a 25 game losing streak. No one saw that coming. That's a very misleading statement that you just said. So like, I need the I need the 15 points from Pat Williams when Zach LaVine comes back. I don't need I might not need 22 from Kobe White, but can you give me 16 or 20 when Zach LaVine comes back? Vooch, like you said, DeMar DeRozan, I know what I'm getting out of him. Vooch, keep giving me the 17 and 11. I know what I'm getting out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You two, more often than not, are the two consistents I know I'm gonna get. AC, keep Alex Caruso, bruh, keep doing what you're doing. That's all I gotta say. Keep doing what you're doing. It has been like, bro, if you'd have told me that Alex Caruso and Kobe White will be getting all-star talk about them,
Especially Kobe White should be getting
especially
all star
Kobe
talk.
White,
He
especially
should be
Kobe
getting
White, like
he
Kobe
should be
White,
getting all
like
star talk.
Kobe White getting all-star talk, bro, and it's hard to deny him. Like it's hard. Like he ain't gonna get it. I already know he ain't gonna get it, but it's hard. But that's what as a young player, that's what you want. You at least want to be in the conversation, and that goes back. All right, so you remember what I said, like when they lost to the Bucks in the playoffs 2 years ago now. You remember what I said when we did that? I'm all like, we gotta be like some of these young dudes. You can't rush the process. You gotta be very patient. You
Mm-hmm.
like okay, Pat Williams like now is hooping like how we envisioned him to be hooping the entire time. Yeah, sometimes it takes things take time. Kobe White doing what he's doing. Again, things take time. Every rookie that comes into the NBA is not going to be LeBron, not going to be Derrick Rose and take the league by storm like that out the gate. Every rookie ain't going to be Damian Lillard, who comes out of nowhere, comes out of a school that we never heard of, and
Houston
eliminates
State.
the Houston Rockets in the playoffs off a game-winning shot in the closeout game to send their ass to the crib, and he missed again. Like,
Look, I'm going to say this about Pat Williams. I think we gave him such unfair expectations when he came out of college. He was a six man of the year.
and when you draw
ACC six
comparisons,
man of
right?
the year.
And when you
You
draw
compare him to Kawhi
comparisons to
Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard, that's not fair.
It's not a fair it's not a fair comparison to him. When I look at Patrick Williams, I just want Patrick Williams to be the best Patrick Williams. I don't want him to be Kawhi Leonard. I don't want him to be anyone else. I want him to be. This is what I think Patrick Williams is. I think he can be one of the best. His 3-point technique. I mean, his shooting technique is really good. I mean, I like that Patrick Williams can stay in the corner, get on the wing, and he can make an open 3-point shot. I
Yeah,
want to see Patrick Williams be one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, not off the dribble, but as just a spot up shooter. Right? I want Patrick Williams to, if he gets the ball in the spot up situation, he could pump fake, go to the mid range, and he could pull up and make a mid range. I don't need Patrick Williams to score 25 to 30 a night. I need Patrick Williams to play defense, to make threes, to play three and D, and I need him to make shots when it's appropriate, and that's all I can ask. Kobe White. When I look at Kobe White, I look at I look at how Tyrese Maxey was last season. Right, he's
hmm
taking that trajectory. I'm looking at Kobe White, and I'm comparing him to Tyrese Maxey. Look what Tyrese Maxey's doing this year. Almost average, it's 25, 26 a game. He's probably going to be in an all-star game this year. Kobe White's taking that next step. He's looking like what Tyrese Maxey looked like last year, and I can only hope that Kobe White can keep this up all the way to next year, and he does take that same leap that Tyrese Maxey is. Now, my thing about Zach LaVine is, yes, you're right. DeMar DeRozan isn't off the, but you can't have two ball stoppers on one team, right? You only can have one. So obviously Zach's on the trade block, right? And we all know this. And
we all know
so
this.
my thing is right now, I think we have to look at it as, okay, now the Bulls are playing well without Zach. Zach wants to get traded somewhere. Can we get some value back for Zach? I think we can, if we can pull that D'Angelo Russell trade. I think that adds. I think that's good for both teams. I think Zach gets to go to the Lakers. I think D'Angelo Russell needs a new place. To be successful. I think he needs a new location outside of LA. I mean, I think Austin Reeves. He's been getting a lot of Manu Ginobili talk because he comes off the bench. He plays really good, plays like a starter. But I think he's ready to be a starter for the Lakers as well. So my thing is, I think it works out for both teams. Or if you can find another trade partner for Zach. But honestly, I think looking at this Bulls team, I think they're perfect right now with just one ball stopper. You're not gonna
But
trade
at the
DeMar
same,
DeRozan. He's older.
but at the same time, so like, excuse me, like we saw, like we see in certain situations where I understand, like during this stretch, it's like if they've had a couple close games, right? So like the second game against Milwaukee, right, up in Milwaukee, the one that went to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like in that situation. Yeah, Kobe White had another instance where Kobe White had a good game, right? I don't mind I didn't mind Billy Donovan, drawing that last play up for DeMar DeRozan to tie the game, right, and send it to overtime.
Right.
But at the same time, you see the game Kobe White's having, right? You see the game Kobe White's having. In that scenario, that's one of the few scenarios where I would not have minded them a draw play, a Kobe 3 for the win. 3 for the win. Like, because the play to give the ball to DeMar in the clutch. Like again, that's the right thing to do. Don't get me wrong, but we already know the play. Like Demar's gonna ISO. Demar's gonna ISO, and whatever, and everybody else is pretty much just has to stay home. And if you're the Bucks, you live with Chris Middleton playing defense on DeMar DeRozan. That's a tough matchup for DeMar. He got the bucket. They go to OT, but what happened in OT? They came out flat. Milwaukee didn't. They went in OT. That's when it's like, damn it, you should have went for the win. That's when you drop. It's like that's when it's on DeMar to be like, no, hey, Kobe, we coming to you. Like, put me and Kobe on the court at this. Like, put me and Kobe on in the same space on the court. We gonna make them make a decision. Because if we on the court and you put me on the same side as like a Vooch or Pat Will, they not finna like no. We already know they gonna double me, and it's on them to what you call it, knock that shot down. If I'm the Bucks in that scenario, if I lose to Pat Williams or Vooch hitting a game winning three, hey, ain't nothing I can do. But
that's the second game they lost in OT
yeah.
to Milwaukee too, because they could have beat Milwaukee twice, and then they lost a closer one to the Denver Nuggets, who are the Denver Nuggets, are the world champs
They the
for a
world
reason.
champs. They the world champs.
Yeah, they're the world champs for a reason. But look, man, the Bulls have been playing really well, and honestly, when you look at their win streak, right, they're up there with Philly, they're up there with Milwaukee, and they're up there with Boston in terms of the last 10. The Bulls are 7-3. Those teams are all 8-2 in their last 10, right? And then when you look at the Western Conference, Minnesota's 8-2 in their last 10. Oklahoma City 7-3 in their last 10. The Clippers are 9-1. Sacramento 7-3. So you're talking about all the playoff teams, man. This is the Chicago Bulls are number 10. Can they play into the top 6? Absolutely, they can play into the top 6.
Now again, now again, like I said earlier, they dug themselves in such a deep hole, right? Like you dig yourself in such a deep, like you're in playoff mode, basically from this point on, from Christmas till basically the end of the season. Because like you said, like the win, like you went on this nice little win streak, and it just got you to the play-in, right? Like you're the 10 seed.
Right.
Like if the season ended today, you're in a play-in tournament, right?
Right. And you'll be playing who they be playing. They'll be playing the Cavs, which I actually like their chances to beat the Cavs.
That's who they play tonight too. They play the Cavs tonight.
Oh no, they play. It'd be the 9-10, right? So they'd play the Nets, who they've had some ruffles with, right?
Some close games, right?
Games with. They were up 20, and the Nets came back and beat them by 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I honestly do think. I mean, look, they're gonna trade Zach. Zach's gonna get traded. They're gonna get some type of value back. They're gonna get like a D'Lo back. They're gonna get somebody that can shoot, and that's what this team needs. I think with DeMar, with Vooch, I think, and then Kobe, the emergence of Kobe White. I think when you can add other guys, and then we're not even talking about like Torrey Craig. We're not talking about Javon Carter playing better. We're not talking about those other guys that are playing much better. Andre Drummond playing good defense, rebounding. We're not even talking about how those guys are playing better. So everybody's playing better in this run. So I think the Bulls can get into the top 6 if they continue to do it. But like you said, they got to if Zach does, if they're gonna roll with Zach, they're gonna have to figure out how to keep it going with Zach. Keep playing the same way with Zach, because you can't have 2 ball stoppers. Next topic we have, surprise, with the quarter of the season in the books. What are some of the league surprises so far? Some notables and Embiid's on his second MVP run. He just cannot be stopped. I think he had 3 in the last 4 or 5 games. He's at 40 points or more. Minnesota atop the West. Clippers with the 9-game win streak. They've actually won. I believe it was. I believe the Clippers have won like 14, and they're like 14-6 or something like that in the last 20 or something like that. Because remember when they got Harden, they lost 6 in a row or something like that, right? Since then, they've won 14. No, they're 14-4 since then. So the Clippers, have been playing really well, and that's just to get them into the top six, right? They've had to play well just to get into the top six, and then the Phoenix Suns struggles. Obviously, there's probably some other ones that you have, but Phoenix Suns
Mm-hmm.
struggles with their health
Mm-hmm.
concerns. Bradley Beal
Health,
injured
health,
again.
health.
Even with Booker and Durant out there, they just look. I mean,
Yeah.
they just got drubbed by the Sacramento Kings last night
They also
again.
lost the
So
game to Portland.
they lost again to Portland. Oh my God, that's
Oh
I
yeah.
remember, man. Matt James is in the chat, boy, about to cry, boy.
He about to have
Um,
a aneurysm.
aneurysm, boy. So
So
what are your surprises so far, man?
just to address
Or
one of
biggest
yours,
surprise?
just to address one
Yeah,
of yours real quick. Yeah, Joel Embiid, he heard that fluke MVP talk and took that shit
yes.
personally.
Oh, he
Uh,
absolutely did. Last night, look, check this out. Last night, TJ, last night he rolled his ankle really bad last night. Against I forget who the hell they were playing. Believe he rolled his ankle last night really bad, and he came out and he scored. He still scored 35 points on 1 foot. And they're playing the Raptors. My bad. They're
yeah,
playing the
yeah,
Raptors. He rolled his ankle. He rolled his ankle so bad. He has 14 straight 30-point games. Tobias Harris led them with 33, but Embiid scored 31, had 31-10, and he even had some nice assist play, in that game as well against the Raptors. So this guy he's on another level, man. He's on another level. He's on another stratosphere right now in terms of MVP
yeah.
right
Well,
now.
because
And it's a
like
surprise because it's like you would expect, maybe somebody else, like, maybe Joker. Like Joker's actually, he's had more inconsistent play than Embiid has had this season. I don't think Embiid has had any inconsistent play this season.
no, I haven't seen Joel Embiid have a bad game at all this season. Like I said, he heard that what you call it, he heard that fluke MVP talk and took that shit personally because a lot of folks last year felt that Joker should have been the first guy to win three straight MVPs since Larry Bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
No NBA player has won three straight MVPs since Larry Bird. Um, the 30-10 he had last night broke Wilt Chamberlain's franchise record for 30-10 games in a row, I
Mm-hmm.
think, or something like that. Now, anytime you're in a conversation with Wilt Chamberlain, you're doing something right. God damn it. Um, my
He did
surprise
that on one leg too, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Like
leg.
he legit was
Now,
playing on one leg
to your point,
last night.
to your point, right? That ankle injury, that's probably if this was like 2 3 years ago, he don't come back. Not only
No,
not only
no.
does he not come back for that game, he's out he's out a few games. Right? He's out. Like no, Joel Embiid, he done got in shape. I don't see him eating the double cheeseburgers pregame no more. I don't see that no more. I don't like Joel Embiid done got in shape and he done again, like once you get a taste of winning something, whether it be team or individual, you want to keep doing it. And not only was it the fluke MVP talk, that some bitch in Denver not better than me.
No. I
That's
don't even think he's better than him. Like even if
now that's his mindset. Oh, that's his mindset. Like, oh, he's like, oh, y'all think he better than me? Y'all think Nikola Jokic, who can't jump over the curb, is better than me? I'm gonna show y'all.
I think also this MVP run, I think him scoring like this is he's getting a lot of one-on-ones because that man Tyrese Maxey, man, he's taking his games. I mean, I said it the other day. I said, man, Tyrese Maxey, anytime he comes off a Joel and B pick and roll or any pick and roll, it's damn it, I'm gonna pray for you because him downhill, Tyrese Maxey is so disgusting. It is like he's gonna get a bucket. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's either gonna pull up on you, and 9 out of 10 he's not pulling up on you. He's going straight to the rack. And I think having him as really, that 15, 14 straight 30-point games. I mean, Embiid, you can't just double team Embiid like that anymore. And it's hard to double team a guy like Embiid when you got a guy like Maxey that can make threes and that can create and do all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff, and also Maxi being able to create. And I think not having certain guys on the team. I don't want to mention them. Certain guys like Harden who stop the ball a lot. It's really been a godsend this year, especially for
Yeah.
Joel Embiid. I think
Now,
this is it's Embiid and everybody else,
yeah.
and Embiid. That's not even close. I don't even think I can make an argument for anybody else. Who could I make an argument for? De'Aaron Fox, maybe. We were making one for Tyrese Halliburton.
Well,
You
no,
know,
like one of the guys, one of the guys that. So just MVP talk in general, right? So obviously he's leading the train. Joel Embiid's leading the train. Um, Joker's obviously in the conversation.
always.
The one guy that I forgot who else was on the list, but the one guy that should be on the list that's not on the list is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards 100% right now should be in MVP conversations.
That's
Um,
fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
but
Because
like
they're top of the West,
that's
Western
what
Conference. He's a big
one
reason why.
one of my surprises this season, obviously, no, not obviously, but to the surprise of everyone, I think is the blossoming of the Orlando Magic. And I told you just wait. I told you wait till Christmas. I told you to be patient and wait till because you were so gung ho like they gonna finish this. I'm like, bruh, it's not even Christmas yet. Just wait. And they've come back down to earth a little bit. They 16-11. That's good for what?
They've lost 4 in a row too.
Lost four-game lose streak. They're fourth in the East. Right. That's great for a team that young. For a team that young. What we failed to like, they've done what Detroit has failed to do, and that is what we call establish the pecking order. Paolo Banchero, this is yours. This is yours. Paolo Banchero.
Franz Wagner, you're second in line.
Franz Wagner, you're the number 2. Wagner, you're the number 2. And so on and so. Wendell Carter Jr., we love that you have turned yourself into this monster, this massive chip on your shoulder. Chicago casted me out and didn't want me. You know what? I'm gonna show them. Yes, if you played like that when you were here, guess what? You'd still been here. That's but that's also the point. Cole Anthony, keep doing what you're doing. Markelle Fultz, way to save your career. Forget resurgence. Way to save it. Way to save your career.
Jalen Suggs has turned into one of the best on-ball defenders in the league.
Jalen Suggs went from maybe we should have took Franz with that pick we took Suggs at instead. Like he went from that into, like you said, one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. He's like top 3 in steals.
Yeah, and I mean he's not he's not playing like, okay, I gotta score 20, 25 a night. He's playing within the system. He knows Moncaro's the guy. He knows Franz Wagner's the guy. He knows, okay, if I play defense and if I get out in transition and I could be a 3-and-D guy, I could be successful.
I'm gonna get some take on this court. Jonathan Isaac, Jonathan Isaacs, welcome back. Orlando, if you ever part ways with Jonathan Isaacs, 1, I wouldn't blame you, but 2, I hope it's to the Bulls. That's just me. Anyway, that's just a little personal. I think anybody should be calling the Orlando Magic about Jonathan Isaac, a 6'10", a 6'10" guy that can play either forward position, might even could play the 2 at 6. Lanky as all hell of a defense, bro. We don't see Giannis get blocked often. He blocked Giannis' shot twice on the same possession in the same game. Right? So, yeah, the Orlando Magic, obviously, big surprise for me this season. Now, the question is, again, the old Uncle Ben saying from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. What are you going to do now with these loftier expectations? Because now you caught the league by storm. You used to be like basically a fly city. Like you come in, like Muggs, you go down to Orlando, go out after, and Muggs will go out after the game, or they get there a day before the game. They go out the night before the game, wake up, bust your ass, and then go back out the same night. You can't go out against the Orlando Magic no more. You can't visit the cigar lounge, as KG said on his podcast. You gotta take these young cats seriously now. Now you ain't a secret no more. Everybody like when everybody see Orlando on the schedule, it ain't. Oh damn, that's an easy dub. Like nah, it's hey, Bancaro like to do what? Franz Wagner, he can do it all. Like how do we slow him down? Besides day, he wasn't getting no burn in Indiana. He come down to Orlando. Now yeah, damn, Buddy can actually play.
He is a nice little piece to them in the front court. You know, he's got length. He can rebound. He can hustle. He can block shots as well. Yeah, Orlando is a nice story in the East. I mean, now like you said, are they going to keep the success up? That's needed to be said because I'll tell you something, man. I watched the Miami Heat yesterday. Freaking Duncan Robinson dropped 19 in the fourth quarter. I mean, Jaime Hawkins had 21. He's a rookie. They're getting Tyler Hero back. He had 30 against the Hawks. Albeit it was against the Hawks, but this is all without Jimmy Butler,
30,
Bam Adebayo,
that
Josh Richardson.
And obviously another surprise to me staying in the East is we just talked about them, the Detroit Pistons. I didn't like again. I knew they were going to be bad. I knew they weren't going to be a playoff team or a play-in team. I did not expect them to be on the verge of breaking history. Did not expect that.
I thought they were more talented than that.
I thought they were 100% more talented than that.
I guess I can say that I didn't think before the season they would be 2-26 bad, but during the season, yes, you guys are 2-26 bad because your late game execution is horrible. I don't even know if you guys are even listening to Monty Williams in the huddle. Because
so I was listening to the first take earlier, and Kendrick Perkins said Monty Williams has lost the locker room. Bro, how you lose the locker room 27 games into the season?
He ain't lost the locker room. Those guys are just young, man. He ain't lose the locker room. Come on now. Sometimes Kendrick Perkins can say some things that are just questionable. I don't know why he's on ESPN. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Clippers, their win streak. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously Minnesota atop the West. They're one of the best defensive teams. You know, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. We'll see. You know I think he had like a deep thigh bruise or something like that the other game. Yeah. You know, Nasri's been nice off the bench. Slow mo. Kyle Anderson's been nice off the bench. But let me talk about the Clippers though, because since they acquired James Harden, you know they struggled, and then now they're playing like probably one of the best teams in basketball right now. Do you think they make a run to unseat Minnesota at the top there? Do you think they can be a top 2 seed? Obviously Harden and Kawhi and Paul George. I mean that is deadly.
So all right, let me look at their net because the next 10 games for them are crucial. They are, let me pull it up. They're 17-11 right now, right? 17-11 right now. You get Boston tonight or in 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then you get Charlotte.
That's a dub.
You get Memphis.
Questionable. Should be a dub though.
You get Miami on New Year's Day. That's the 4th.
Should be a dub, but that's questionable.
Phoenix on the 3rd. That's 5. New Orleans on the 5th. That's 6.
Should be a dub.
Lakers. That's the 7th. Phoenix again. And then the Raptors. That's their next 10 games. That's the next 10
I think
games.
they can actually go like 8-2, 7-3 right there.
So if you go 8-2, 7-3, right, that puts you at like let's just keep the math simple. If they go 8-2, right, they're 17-11 right now. 8-2 puts them at 25 and 13. 25 and 13. So like what you need to happen for you to go 8-2 in your next 10 to catch Minnesota, you need Minnesota to have a 4-6 over their next 10 or 3-7, but not just them, right? You need Sacramento to have a 4-6. You need Denver to fall off a little bit. You need Denver to go basically 500 over the next 10 games, and you need OKC to go 3-7 over their next 10 games.
So I want to say this about the Clippers, though. This is all predicated on health, man. They all have to be healthy. We know Harden is going to stay healthy. He hasn't had a bad streak of being unhealthy, but it's Harden's them two dogs
right. Harden's problem isn't his health. For Harden, it's his interest level. And Kawhi's not playing. Kawhi's not playing today because, excuse me, he some with a hip. So and that's another thing. It's like during this whole thing, right? The game they had the other day, and I think they lost, right? They lost to
Yeah, they lost their win streak against
the Thunder.
I
To the
believe it
Thunder.
was the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah.
Kawhi that was Kawhi Leonard's first missed game all season. He didn't play. He didn't play the other night. So like that's been a surprise, right? Like during this whole run, the other surprise, like the surprise within the surprise, is Kawhi not missing any games. Russ,
Healthy. He's been healthy.
like you said, like Kawhi, as long as Kawhi and Paul George are there, you cannot count out the Clippers. I know what Russ gonna give me, and I know Russ gonna be there. Like if of their big four, if I know for a fact who's gonna be there, I know Russ gonna be there. Come hell or high water,
Russ and Harden. I think Russ and Harden, you could count on both of them to be there.
So yeah, for them to go like for them to catch Minnesota and get that top seed, a lot has to go their way over the next 10 games. And yeah, they're gonna obviously you're gonna need some help. Now, Phoenix, on the other hand, Phoenix need depth, but that's what happens when you trade for a guy like a Kevin Durant, like a Bradley Beal. You give up all your depth. And I just remember, I don't know, I just remember a certain strapping young man, me, telling some other young gentlemen from the JCA podcast that folks are so quick to discredit Zach LaVine and not give him his money, but have no problem paying Bradley Beal his money.
I don't even think Bradley Beal's played 10 games this year. How many games has he played this year? 5, 6?
I don't even think he
If
played
that.
with you. I don't even think he played what you
I don't
just
even think
said.
he's played 5. Man, look, this
So,
team. Look,
so
and
no,
off the
no,
bench. When you talk about off the bench, who's off the bench? Okogie.
Cole,
You got
and
uh,
you got to
Eric
talk about
Gordon.
and you got to talk about starting a Kogi because and when we talk about perimeter defenders, he definitely conversation as one of the best. Okogie is a hell of a defender, but what you ain't getting none on the offensive end. Same thing with Eric Gordon. Offensively, Eric Gordon gonna give you buckets, but he can't stop a cone. He can't stop a traffic cone.
He
Now,
can't. No, he can't. Yeah, I mean Grayson Allen starting for them as well. You tell what time Watanabe.
and
He's a guy that was scoring last year for the Brooklyn Nets. He's pretty much
I
fallen off rotation. I
I
don't know
said that
how.
I said that in the group chat. I'm like, bro, Watanabe shot 44% from three last season. How is he
Jordan
not?
Goodwin's been pretty good for them though. Jordan Goodwin has been pretty good for them. I will say this though, they just got Bobo or whatever they've been had Bobo, and they don't. I think they're thinking about trading Bobo
Trading him?
actually, um, trading him. But he's a guy they probably should even think about like giving him some tick. I
At,
mean, he's a guy that's he can do
because
some
at this
things.
because at this point, what do you got to lose? Right at this point, what do you have to now? Like, no, I wish the guys from the JCA podcast nothing but the best. But I hope they remember
Zero
that.
little.
I hope they remember that conversation because the big thing I was sticking on was y'all want to pay Bradley Beal all this money, but the preface it is when Bradley Beal plays he gives you this. Yeah, when he plays.
When he plays.
The emphasis in that is when he plays. And you see, like,
When he plays.
how the hell we go like, and we saw this with the other big three in Brooklyn. How the hell was James Harden, KD, and Kyrie supposed to develop any chemistry when they weren't playing with each other? Those dudes,
No.
that Brooklyn team had 50 something million different starting lineups.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
no.
It's the same thing in Phoenix.
I think Phoenix is going to struggle all season unless I mean you got to have I mean it doesn't even matter if Booker and Durant are scoring 25 to 30 a game. It's everybody else. Nurkic didn't play last night, so that came into account of them losing by so much. They could have used Nurkic, but this team's just struggling. Even if they have Nurkic on the floor, they struggle. So There are a lot of surprises in the league. A lot of surprises in the league. We'll come back here at the midway point towards All Stars, towards the All Star game. Give you some more surprises here. Anyways, next on the slate we have the big games, the Christmas Day games, a staple in the NBA. Some real big games on the slate. We actually just had this game with the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks. They could just stay there in New York and have a good time.
They probably are.
For Christmas Eve, they probably are. So yeah, we got that game. That's the first game on the slate. We got Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets, the Boston Celtics and LA. That's a rivalry game in the NBA. And then we have the Sixers, Heat, and then the end Christmas Day of the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns, as we just mentioned. I'll start with the first one. TJ, Milwaukee, New York. We just saw this game. Milwaukee just beat them by 20 right now. Do you think it's anything different on Christmas Day?
I want to say no. But no. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm expecting the same result. I was trying to like hype it up as like, oh, the Knicks on Christmas is something different, but it's really not. The Knicks playing on Christmas is like the Lions playing on Thanksgiving, bro. Like as long as I've been watching basketball, bro, I've always seen the Knicks. I don't remember a time when the Knicks didn't play on Christmas. And maybe it's because
they always play on Christmas.
Okay, maybe it's because maybe it's because I wasn't born yet that I don't remember that. But yeah, the Knicks on Christmas is like the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. You're always going to get a Lions game on Thanksgiving. You're always going to get a Knicks game on Christmas Day. Give me the Bucks.
Yeah, give me the Bucks to win this game as well, man. I like it's any given day, in the NBA, but
and I get
the Bucks are just the Bucks are just better than the Knicks, and Becky Hammond said something about Jalen Brunson. He's a 1A type of, he's not your superstar type of player. Neither is Julius Randle is a superstar type of number one option player.
I'll say this about Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson. I have never seen a goalpost move so much for a player like Jalen Brunson, and not in a not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it went from Jalen Brunson is not worth all this to he's not an all-star. Now it went from he's not an all-star to he's not. I'm like, bro, like he's shattering every standard y'all set for him. Jalen Brunson has come out and broke it.
Yeah, 40 point. He had a 40-point game the other night.
Y'all say he ain't an all-star, he gets damn close. Y'all say he's not a max player, he gets a max. Right? Y'all say he can't lead the team, he goes to New York and the impact is immediate.
Right away. Yeah, it takes him to the playoffs. And then not to play in, to play like the real playoffs. like top six. And wins a playoff series, by the way.
So like if I'm Jalen Brunson, it's almost like it's almost like now what? It's legit like now.
But I do agree to the standard where it's like, okay, like there are some games where it's like, okay, I want Jalen Brunson to do this every night. As like in a Damian Lillard type of way, and how Damian Lillard did it in Portland, doing like every night scoring 25, 30, as opposed to some nights where it's like he's scoring 18, scoring 17, scoring 21. We want to see Jalen Brunson do 25, 30 a night and take the Knicks to that upper echelon, to be a top 3 seed in the East. Next game we got on slate, we got the Golden State Warriors going into Denver. Golden State 4-1 in their last 5. Denver, if I'm not mistaken, they just came off a W last night. Who wins that game?
It's gonna be Denver, and I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but I dead ass don't think this mug gonna be close, man.
No, it's not gonna be close. It's in Denver. It's not gonna be close at all. I don't even have to give any reasons. I just think that the rebounding is going to be an issue.
Like put it this way. If Kevon Looney gets 2 quick fouls, and you got to go to Trace Jackson Davis to guard Jokic. They may be getting Wiggins back for this game too. Wiggins didn't play last night. You ain't hear what I said. like
I heard what you said. I heard what you said. I heard what you said. I heard what you said.
you ain't
It's not gonna be close. It's gonna be. Look, Jokic is gonna probably put up a 30-point triple double.
that man might
I'm gonna
have a
put it
trip.
out there.
That man might have tripped up
You know,
for half,
honestly,
man.
he hasn't really had to score that much because man, getting Jamal Murray back and healthy, and Jamal Murray back has looked healthier and healthier with each game. I mean, Jamal Murray has looked like the Jamal Murray of last year when he was going on that run. I mean, he's looked fantastic. When you and then also when you get Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon chipping in, and then finally, Mike Malone said Reggie Jackson is our backup. We're gonna give him like 6-man minutes. Like like Reggie Jackson has been absolutely amazing for the Denver Nuggets, and I think that's key to success. And so I give me Denver to win that game. Next game we got on state, we got Boston going into LA. Big rivalry game here between Boston and LA. I wouldn't say rivalry between just rivalry in the echoes of time of in the NBA history. Who do you got winning this game here on Christmas Day?
Give me and this is one of those. This particular rivalry. This is one of those. So again, I grew up a Kobe fan, right? I grew up a Kobe fan. I hated Boston as if I actually was a Laker fan. Like when they played each other in the finals those two times, and I was actually there to witness it. I was cheering my ass off for LA. I was mad as hell when Boston beat them the first go round. That being said, I don't like what I'm seeing out of the Lakers since winning the play-in.
The in-season tournament?
Yeah, my bad. I said play-in. We've been talking about the play-in. So, yeah, I have not liked they've kind of
1-4. They got a 4-game losing streak right now going.
Yeah, they've kind of hit.
They lost to the Spurs, bro.
Yeah, so like,
come on, bro.
And there's and I want to say, and I understand like Laker fans want to put like a little, well, not Laker fans, but like basketball fans want to put like a little asterisk next to it, like, oh, LeBron didn't play. I'm here to say you shouldn't need LeBron James to beat the Spurs. I'm just saying that. AD.
No, LeBron did play that game. He didn't play in the win that they had when they won 122-119. Anthony Davis, I believe, played that game. That's when Anthony Davis had the 30 and him and Wembanyama went off against each other.
Right. Okay, yeah. But anyway,
LeBron did play that game.
You shouldn't need one of those two dudes to beat the Spurs. That's
Davis didn't play the 129-115. He didn't play that game when they lost 129-115. Davis
that's what I'm here to say. Give me Boston. I just think Boston's playing. Obviously, you don't like them losing to the Warriors the way that they did because they had that lead and.
And oh man, but they came back. They came back the next night in Sacramento and blew the doors off them. They came out in the third quarter.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
I know, but they came that third quarter, dude.
Yeah,
they literally played. They like shot the leather off the ball, bro. Like
yeah, they so again like that, but they had to feel some type of way against that losing that Warriors game the way that they did. Yeah, give me the Celtics. Give me the Celtics. Give me the Celtics.
Yeah, they like you said, hey, the Celtics should have beat the Warriors. I mean, I shut that game off and put something else on. And I was like, I don't want to watch this shit.
Well,
then Steph Curry just did Steph Curry things. Because now when Steph Curry got that fifth foul, bro, in the middle of the third, I'm like, come on, bro. How the hell y'all gonna give Steph 5 fouls?
And what I say to you, like, man, that's ticky tack. I'm like, hey. Ticky tack.
Oh, they gave him 5 fouls, bro.
My thing
he went off and had 20-something.
My thing is
20-something and not one more foul, bro. Come on now.
That's my point. That's the issue I got. Like, bro, I'm like, you mean to sit here and tell me you Jaylen Brown, you Jason Tatum, you can't fish out Steph Curry to get that 6th foul to get him out the game?
That 6th foul on him? Oh man. I know Steve Kerr had to have a defensive game where he was hiding the hell out of Stephen Curry. Next game on state, we got Philly going into Miami. 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tip-off. This one actually, I think it's going to be a really competitive game, man. I'm actually looking forward to this one in particular. Outside of the first three, I think this was going to be the most competitive of the day.
Man, bam.
I think we'll get Jimmy Butler back in this game too as well.
Man, I don't care. I don't care what kind of I don't care the big what kind of big
Miami's throwing out
guy.
there, which is Bam Adebayo,
Bam
pretty
Cody
much.
Zeller. Bam Cody not Cody Zeller. Bam Hayward, not Highsmith. He ain't no big. They got another young big on there. I don't care who it is. I don't care. MB getting his right. MB getting his.
Regardless, he did it on one leg yesterday. I mean, come on now.
Um,
It's
Jimmy,
who's the other? They man, Miami's still real small, bro. I mean, the other outside of Adebayo, it's Kevin Love, bro. Like, they go Cody Martin, Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero,
now don't
Jimmy
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Butler,
It's gonna be. It's, I think
Duncan Robinson, Haywood Highsmith, and Josh Richardson. Come on now, bro.
I
Come
think
on
it's
now.
gonna be. I think it's gonna be competitive. I'm with you. I think it's gonna be
This
competitive.
gonna be it's gonna be competitive because you got a lot. Because okay, outside of Embiid and Maxi, I know that Tobias Harris scored 33 yesterday, but
That's
he
not.
don't do that every
No,
night.
you know. Thank you. I was saying that to another person, and in Christian sports group, I'm saying it to him. I'm like, Philly needs a third scorer, and he's like, really? I feel like that's Tobias. I'm like, no, Tobias don't do it enough, right? So my thing,
Usually you'll see Maxi 29, 30, and
you see,
B 30, 40, and then everybody else got 6, 8, 9,
you might
10,
you might see what you call it. You might see Tobias with like 12, 15.
12. Yeah,
You
something like
know?
that.
Like so here's the thing. Here's why I say it's gonna be competitive, especially if Jimmy Butler plays. Jimmy Butler forever will have the chip on the 70 on his shoulder for the 76ers. Why? Because you decided to pay Tobias Harris the money that should have went to me. Imagine this Joel Embiid, the Joel Embiid we have now, with Jimmy goddamn Butler. Their biggest
And
regret,
Tyrese Maxey.
their biggest regret forever in Philly is letting Jimmy Butler walk out that door. Philly would have a chip already if they kept Jimmy Butler. Why? Because the stuff that Jimmy Butler wanted out of Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins in Minnesota, he would have gotten out of Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Joel Embiid wouldn't have had all these weight issues and getting in shape issues if they'd have kept Jimmy Butler. Because Jimmy Butler's gonna demand that shit out the gate. No, like you see the work ethic, like you know my story. You saw my work ethic. I went from the last pick of the first round, averaging 2 points a game, but I'm playing critical minutes against LeBron James at the peak of his powers at the Miami Heat as a rookie because I worked my ass off and I'm playing defense. I cracked Tibbs' rotation, not for my scoring, but because I could play defense. And then the year after that, I work on my offensive game and I win most improved. I go from lottery pick. I go from last pick of the first round, defensive player to most improved to first time All Star to second time All Star to my first max contract to my second max contract. I'm on my third max contract in Miami, and I've been to the finals twice in Miami. That could have been you, Philly, had you paid me my
No,
bread.
that could have been you. That could have been them. That could have been them. And
So
so
give me Philly, but Jimmy Butler ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it easy. Jimmy Butler, hey, especially if he come back and play that game. Like if I'm Jimmy Butler, like, yeah, I'm coming back for that game. I might miss the next two or three, but I'm coming back for this one. I'm coming back for this.
where Philly kills them with Embiid on the inside, Miami can still kind of counter it a little bit with Bam a little bit in a way. And I think
Like
Miami's just
so,
wing players
like
all in all are
the
better
best way to
than
do it,
Philly outside of Maxi.
the best way to counter Joel Embiid, and we kind of saw that when the Bulls beat them. You got to make them run. Like Vucevic got
Right.
to
You
like
got it. You got that.
so like Vucevic beat him down the court several times and got easy buckets. Bam, that's where you count. That's where you want Bam to use his athleticism uses because in a half court setting, no, he ain't getting none offensively against Joel Embiid, and he ain't slowing down Joel Embiid on the other end. They gotta go. They a haul ass. They gotta go.
And
Bam.
Miami doesn't really like to play fast though. They play so slow, man. They
Exactly.
play
So
so slow. They like to play, and that's where it's gonna, that's where I think it's gonna be because Philly could play both. Philly could play in the half court and they get play fast. So that's the thing. So I'm actually gonna go with Philly to win this game. But Miami and keep it close. I think it's gonna be a competitive game. Next game we
and
got on the same. We got Dallas and
so
Phoenix,
this is funny.
and
This is
both
funny. I call it. Give me first off. Give me Dallas. I don't think it's gonna be close. This game right here, the Dallas Phoenix game. You know what I call this game? I call this the travel game. This the go home game. So it's Christmas. It's Christmas Day. Country's hell. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. This Christmas Day.
it's
Christmas Christmas Day. You've been with you've been with the family all day, right? You've been with the family all day. Y'all laughing, y'all drinking, y'all done exchanged presents, y'all done ate some good food, y'all done had a good time. 10:30, like 9:30 Central Time, 11 with 10:30 on the East Coast, right? This the all right, hey, what game finna come on? Dallas and Phoenix. Man, you know what, y'all? Hey, this was fun. We'll see y'all at hey, what y'all doing for New Year's? We'll see this the go home game. This one y'all been with the family all day and y'all just decide to call it a night and everybody go home. Everybody's gonna watch this game.
Both teams 1-4. But look, hey, Mavs getting back Lively, they getting back Josh Green, they getting back Uncle Drew, they getting back Kyrie Irving.
Oh yeah,
In
it's
Phoenix, which have a
really
full
gonna be an
slate.
ass whooping
And,
now.
and the Phoenix Suns should have Nurkic back, and they should have Josh Okogie back. But who knows? I mean, they may think that Kyrie shouldn't play in this game because they have enough, right? Yes, give me Dallas to win this game. Ah, this is what I'm very interested in this game. The rivalry between Devin Booker and Luka Doncic.
And Luka Doncic,
That's where I'm interested.
you
That's
messy.
what I'm interested in seeing. That's what I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested in seeing Luka Doncic and Devin Booker go at it as they've done in the playoffs and as they've done. These two guys do not like each other at all. Luka just does things that gets under guys' skin, man. I mean, I think it's because of his the European and how he talks shit, and it's just he just does things that rubs guys the wrong way. And I'm just interested in seeing that dynamic. With that being said, I like Dallas to beat Phoenix in this game. Next topic and the last topic, as we all like to, as we like to leave it off with GOAT Talk. It's a special here on
It's a
the Prime and
staple.
on the crossover. This is where TJ takes it away because he has his GOAT Talk here.
I have
Where
my
we put two players
so
same era or different eras against each other. And
So just to refresh the GOAT Talk rules. First off, shout out to the Goodfellas podcast. What used to be the Goodfellas podcast. I got the idea from them. They are very good friends of mine. They are I ain't gonna say way older than me, but they're older than me. And I got the GOAT Talk idea from them. I sent them a couple GOAT Talks myself, and they talked about it. So the premise behind GOAT Talk is to highlight players from eras that didn't get talked about enough, that should have gotten talked about more than what they did. And just to preface, this is never going to be a Jordan LeBron, Jordan Kobe, Kobe LeBron topic. Why? Because those topics are done to death. I am so sick of them. And just to reiterate, if you're Team Jordan, you're not going to get your mind changed. If you're Team LeBron, your mind's not going to be changed, so on and so forth. That being said, let's get this started off with Izzy. Are you ready? Player one.
Player one, baby. I'm always ready for this.
Player one was drafted in 1986 out of Georgia Tech. He was a second round draft pick. 1986 by the Dallas Mavericks. Played from 86 to 98. Point guard for the teams, no particular order, and you cannot ask you can't ask what order did he play in because that's a dead giveaway. He played for the Bullets, the Warriors, the Cavs, and the Magic. Bullets, Warriors, Cavs, Magic.
Uh,
Those are the
man, it's
14.
not. I know it's not Rod. I know it's not Rod Strickland.
It is not Rod Strickland,
It's
but
not Rod because I think Rod Strickland played for Portland at one point.
some accolades. Some accolades. He's a four-time All-Star. Four-time All-Star. One-time All-NBA first team. Three-time All-NBA third team. Two-time three-point champion. 50-40-90 club in 1989. That is a very exclusive NBA club. His number is retired by the Cavaliers. So think about that. Cavs retired numbers. Right?
I'm retired by the Cavs. Damn, dog.
Career points 10,989.
Oh, is it it's the white boy. Oh, damn, my bad.
It's the white
Damn. It's Mark God Lee. I know his first name Mark. God, just go ahead and finish it off for. I know it's the white boy. He played on them teams, with Craig Elo and them. Oh man, what the hell?
He was the other white guy. He was the other one.
Yeah, he was the other white guy.
So 10,000.
Damn.
He finished a good 12 points shy of 11,000. Basically, he averaged 15 a game for his career. 1,848 rebounds. That's 2.6 or 3 rebounds. We round up here on Prime Sports World. And 4,863 assists. That's 6.7 or 7 assists a game. We round up at the Prime Sports World. This is Mark Price because he was
Mark Price. I know. I was trying to get. I know it's Mark something. Mark Price. Okay. When you said Cavaliers point guard retired, I said then Georgia Tech. I said, oh man, it's the white boy. Yeah. Hey, he was one of the colder white boys back in the 90s.
Yeah, Mark. Mark Price.
John Stockton.
Mark Price is not talked about enough. Mark Price had game. Mark Price had game. Player two was drafted the following year. First round, 7th overall in 1987 out of Cal. Out of Cal.
Who?
He got drafted
with the Cal.
With the Cal. Only played on 2 teams. Played on the Cavs, played on the Suns. That's it. Cavs and Suns. He only played 2. He played from 87, basically from 87 to 2000. 87 to the year 2000.
Oh, yeah, his career.
Man. Another point guard. So it's point guard v point guard. This guy, 3-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA second team, 1 All-NBA third team, was most improved player in 1989. So the same year Mark Price went 50-40-90, he won most improved. And his number is retired by the Phoenix Suns. 13,127 career points. That's 18 a game. 6,711 assists. That's 9.1 a game.
I don't think it's Kevin Johnson because I think Kevin Johnson.
It is Kevin Johnson.
It's Kevin Johnson? Oh, man. Okay. I was going to say, I thought Kevin Johnson played for Sacramento at one point.
No, he was the mayor of Sacramento. He was the mayor of Sacramento.
He's just the mayor of Sacramento. Okay. So Kevin Johnson and Mark Price.
Kevin Johnson,
man,
Mark
Kevin
Price.
Johnson a dunk on your ass, man. Like he will come down the lane and yam your ass, man. Oh my God. If I was the pick, man,
So just
man, I'm sorry, Matt James, but I had to go Mark Price here, man.
All right, so just to their best. All right, so damn, Kevin Johnson never had. It's like when he had a career high in assists, he never had a career high in points. That was like the following year. So like his career high in points is 22.5 or 23. But but that season he averaged 23 points. He averaged 11 assists. When he had his career high in assists in 12, he only averaged 20 a game. So, and they was a year apart. So 88-89, he averaged 20, 12, and 4 rebounds with a steal a game. And he played in 81 games. He started 81 games. He played 39 minutes a night that season. All right. Mark Price, his career bests, if I can pull it up, was 87, 88. He played his career. He played in 80 games. Started 79, but it wasn't until 89, 90 where he averaged 19, 19.6. That's 20 a game. He averaged 9 assists a game, 3.4 rebounds a game, and he shot 88% from the free throw line. He shot 41% from three, 46 from the field, and he was giving and he was doing this while giving you 37 minutes a night.
Man, KJ also went to the finals with Barkley too. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
AJ went to the finals with Barkley, and
Ah,
Mark
man.
Price's defense. Those guys were nice. Brad Doherty and them were nice. They weren't Charles
Yeah,
Barkley.
Craig Elo. I think
Craig,
he also had. I think Ron Harper was also on that.
Ron
Was
Harper
also
was
on those
also,
teams.
and keep in mind these were the Cavs team. They used to give Mike. They used to give the Bulls problems. They were some of the best teams. Like they used to get everybody they best work. They used to get Boston some smoke. They had smoke for Detroit, and
hmm
they had smoke for the Bulls. Like that, those Cleveland teams aren't talked about enough in general.
I
But
mean,
you
we're talking about a Michael Jordan last second game winner from the Cavs, possibly going on to the
going
next round.
on.
Yeah, and what was that, 91? I think it had to be like 91, 92. Yeah, man. Man, this is tough. I'm still gonna
No,
go with
that
Mark Price. I'm
like
still gonna go with Mark Price, even though I like Kevin Johnson.
the shot you
I
talking
like I
about, the shot you talking about that was 89.
That's
That,
89, 89.
that's when first round matchup. That's when first round playoff series used to be best of five. So they lost that. They lost that
Mm-hmm.
series. They lost that series 3-2 on the
Right.
Michael Jordan game winning shot. And some folks say Craig Elo never recovered from that shot.
He
Um,
probably he probably never did. He probably never did. Probably never did.
but
Um,
this is also a Mark Price who in the playoffs averaged 17, like for his playoff career, he averaged 17 and 7. Kevin Johnson in the playoffs, so they neck and neck. So 17 and 7, Kevin Johnson was giving you 19 and 9. They
it's
right
so close.
they
It's so
right there.
close. It depends on what kind of player style you like. If it's Kevin Johnson, you want to see dunks and people dunking, like more athletic plays and Kevin Johnson. But if you like true point guards and a guy that can shoot,
So
Mark Price. Like,
you going from the true point guard standard. You going Mark Price.
I'm going Mark Price, but I'm going Mark Price, but man, Kevin Johnson. I mean, this is a good one. This is a hard one. I'm gonna go with Mark Price though. I'm gonna go with Mark Price. I'm gonna go with Mark Price.
He
That's my
goes.
better go and go talk.
All right. I'm gonna go with, man. I gotta go with KJ. Man, I'm sorry. I gotta go with Kevin Johnson.
It's no wrong answer here. It's no
Yeah,
wrong answer
I
here.
feel like for this one, I gotta pick one where it's like we gotta vehemently disagree on something. Uh, but yeah, this one's like I think this one's like, yeah, like you said, there's no wrong answer. I feel like because both of them, like both point guards, give you buckets. Both point guards can facilitate and give you assists too. So
Right.
it's really nitpicking on like what you're, like you said, like do you want the true point guard? And the one thing I will disagree with you on is like not calling Kevin Johnson a true point guard.
A true point guard. Yeah, no. I would say Kevin Johnson is the absolute more athletic point guard. Man, it's just tough. It's such a tough one, man. It's such a tough one. And also, you can't say this about Mark Price too, is that he kind of lost his luster a little bit, later on in his career, like middle to late to his career, as Kevin Johnson only played for two teams, and he was absolutely beloved in Phoenix, all the way to the end of his career. So, there's no wrong answer here. Man, it's just a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Mark Price. He got Kevin Johnson. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, man, hey, that has been a wrap, man. I know we went for a long time, but we haven't did a
All right,
crossover episode
we haven't
in a
right,
while time, so we had to put in two and one pretty much on this one.
we had a lot of topics to cover.
A lot of topics and a lot to talk about. So probably next crossover will be a lot shorter than this one. But anyways, hopefully we'll get David back here once he's caught up. David is low key in football mode. David's like he's low key in football mode. But this has been awesome. Hopefully we'll get him on next time here on the crossover. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast here at Prime Sports World on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. In case it's missed, you can catch us on all streaming platforms where podcasts can be heard.
We just waiting on
Anyways,
we just waiting on you to update the Apple Podcast page.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. 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 I have a lot to update. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. I have been so busy all week. I've
How
been
you
so
good, bro?
busy like every weekend to just do it. It's like I'm like 100 episodes behind.
You got
That's all
this.
I gotta do. And
You got
I mean
coaching.
honestly, yeah, honestly, man, honestly, it shouldn't take that long to do it. It'll probably only take one day to get them all uploaded. I just honestly been thinking about just putting the new episodes up there,
That's
just
fine.
cause, yeah, just doing that. But anyways, we'll get that updated. It's kind of backlogged a little bit. But yeah, we'll come back next Monday. Here with the prime on our football on our previews here. We got some Saturday football here.
Get ready
Actually,
to
I'm
start.
actually gonna start with this. I'll end with this Saturday football. We have the on the quick style because we'll come back Monday for our previews here, for our reviews for week 16. But we got Saturday football: Bengals, Steelers, Bills, Chargers. Bengals, Steelers. Who do you got? Real quick,
Bengals.
TJ.
Bengals.
Bengals, and then Bills, Chargers. We ain't even got to talk about. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyways, man. Hey, that's been a wrap for the crossover. We'll see you guys next Monday. You guys have a good weekend. Have a good Christmas Eve and a good Christmas Day.
Same to you,
Spread
man.
the jolly and Christmas spirit to everybody and enjoy your family. And also remember the true meaning of Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to leave you out here with. All right, it ain't about the presents, ain't about the gifts, nothing like that. It is, it's a beautiful thing. But you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys Monday. Peace out,
I'll
guys.
let you know.